Hey everyone, Crazy Jimmy here. I've got a new video for you. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to do some 90s heat. These are original pressings, original vinyl pressings from the 1990s from some bands you probably will know, some you might not know. But I pulled a few here that we'll show you. I think there's roughly 10 here, give or take. And hopefully you like what you see and hear when you go online to listen to them. Because I cannot be playing snips of songs on my videos for a little bit. I got to cool it on that due to copyright issues. So anyways, why don't we get started? We are going to start with this first one. The band is a Providence, Rhode Island band named Arab on Radar, and this album is Queen Hygiene, as it says back there. This is a screened album, hand done, hand screened. It's really cool. It kind of has that, it feels like paint, so it's got a very like chalky feel to it when you touch it, but this is post-punk madness. Post-punk madness. This band has a few albums out for the 90s that were, here's the inside, it's just a piece of cardboard basically, and not too many of these were pressed. I want to say maybe 300, maybe 500. There's the very rare insert that is kind of hard to get with this when you do find it. I'll just kind of show you there. It's pretty cool. And on this side it has the lyrics right there. But this is just, you know, for a New England band, man, this is I don't know how to explain this. It's just post-punk madness from the 90s. I mean, it's just crazy. My understanding is there was is very little bass going on. It's basically guitar and drums and vocals. It's just really angular and angry music, but it's very melodic. So it's not, you know, it's not this hardcore mess. It's definitely post-punk more than anything, taking its cues from like the Swell Maps, bands like that, but certainly a little heavier than the Swell Maps. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Arabs on Radar, and you like post-punk, and you like 90s music, what was coming out in the 90s, unbelievable. Killer. Alright, next up, this is a double, so I do have one of these for sale, but this is an original pressing of the Strapping Fieldhands, Waddle and Daub. And it's on Shangri-La Records, right there. And, you know, the best way to describe this is like a mix of Pavement and Guided by Voices. It's certainly lo-fi. This was released in 1996. And it's their second full length. Their first one was called Discus from 1993. Both great. This is probably my favorite one. Side 2 on this is front to back on side 2, top to bottom, unbelievable. Driving lo-fi rock songs that have so if you take Guided by Voices and Pavement, throw a little sea shanty in there, you've got Strapping Fieldhands. The lead singer Malloy, who did the songwriting as well, or most of it, also had a very popular, and I don't think they're open anymore, but a popular record store in Pennsylvania, I want to say, that he owned and operated. And I don't think it was the Princeton Exchange, because that's in New Jersey. This is another one. I forgot the name of it, but I don't think they're open anymore. Forgive me if they are. But Malloy ran that record store, and you know, and this is his band too. Just outrageously good. Right here, Strapping Fieldhands, 1996 original. Next up, here's one that you've seen, but you don't see this often. This is a true original pressing of Milk Hotels in the Airplane Over the Sea from 1996. In the shrink, you can see there the label that came on these. This is an original, and it's kind of hard to tell if you have an original unless you know when you bought it. But you do. Only 1,500 were pressed. They ordered 1,500, or I think it was 1,500, or was it 700? I don't know. The notes are in Discogs, but you could tell by the hue or the bias of the coloring. That's number one. And number two, you can tell by the detail on the label. And you can also tell by the weight of the vinyl. So the original pressings are pretty light, like 140 gram. And the detail of this gramophone is highly detailed on the original, where it gets really blurry and the lines start to blur together. And this light tan colored label turns into like a dark tan or an orange label on the repressings, because they repress this quite a bit. But this is the very first run. I know that because I bought it when it first came out at Newbury Comics. And it comes with, the little insert there. But yeah, so yeah, if you're buying this online or something, and you're buying it from some dude who didn't get it back in when it first came out, there's the back barcode, what it should look like. Not every one of them had a barcode like that, apparently, but whatever. But yeah, if you're buying it from some guy who doesn't know when he bought it, or is cloudy on it, or just picked it up and claims it's a first press, you're never going to know by the dead wax, because the dead wax is virtually unchanged. So you'll really have to do your homework on it. So it'll be hard to trust, because you're going to pay a little bit for a first pressing. I think they range anywhere from 100 to 200 depending on conditions. So, and this is only going to go up in value because it's a landmark album. This is considered, like a top 10 greatest indie album of all time. It's only going to increase in value. So, if you love this album like I do, if you love this band, if you love the Elephant Six Collective like I do, you're going to want this in your collection. All right, next up, another favorite of mine, the Lilies, SK and the Photon Band. This is an original pressing on Spin Art Records. And this is in the shrink. Let me show you this. I mean, these 90s albums, they did not make many of them. I think only 500 of this was pressed. I could be wrong. Maybe 1,000. I thought it was 500, though. But just a beautiful near mint copy. Anything that came out in Spin Art back in the 90s, I bought. I mean, Spin Art was like a no-brainer. Late 80s, early 90s label that every time they put something out, I knew I would like it. There's the original pressing label. It's about 140 gram on the wax, I want to say. Maybe 130. So, did it come with an insert? Let me see. I don't remember. Nope. Pretty bare bones. But just, this is probably my favorite Lilies album. This one here will remind you the most of Pink Floyd. Like Clouds, Pink Floyd era. The more space rock Pink Floyd, like Metal. So this one brings to mind Metal. Obscured by Clouds would be another one. So if you're into Pink Floyd and the space rock of Pink Floyd, you'll love that. All right, next up, New Zealand band, the Tall Dwarfs. I've got everything they've ever done. Weeville is probably up there with one of my favorites. I love folk songs, too, from them. But this is an original pressing from New Zealand. So, if you got a New Zealand band, you got to get the New Zealand original, right? Let me show you the label. There you go. There you go. What is this, Flying Nun? Yep, I think Flying Nun, that's another label. Whatever they released, just great. You're getting that scratchy, lo-fi, rock, pop mix with cool post-punk angular guitar work. Just something about these New Zealand bands and what they were doing in the late 80s, early 90s, and mid 90s are just amazing. So, really good stuff there. Good original to have. Oh, God, here's a great 90s, 1993, I believe this was released, or was it 95? Maybe 95. Giant Steps by Boo Radleys. What a pop album this is. Just a great English pop album. As good as any, Oasis never touched this band in my mind. I'm probably pissing off Oasis fans, but, I don't hate Oasis, but, I would rather have anything from the Boo Radleys, especially their shoegaze stuff, like Heaven Knows, Giant Steps. This is a mixture of shoegaze and Britpop, lo-fi stuff, bedroom pop going on in here too. I'll show you one of the records. This is an original pressing. Really nice labels on this too. Double album. Gatefold, really well done. These originals are not that expensive. They can be had for, I want to say, $50 to $75, depending on the condition. I think this was Creation, I think, released this. Creation. Another label that you just can't go wrong with. Anything released by that label, just phenomenal. Releasing great albums from Swerve Driver and, of course, Boo Radleys. My Bloody Valentine, I think, right? Just, I can go on and on. Giant Steps. Good stuff. Next up, Portastatic. Mac McLaughlin, is it? Is that his name? Basically, it's him in his 4-track on this one. This is my favorite. I Hope Your Heart Is Not Brittle. He pretty much did this in his bedroom on a 4-track. So, there's the back. I don't know if this is the brown. There's a brown and a black original. So, this is an original. I don't remember if it's the brown or the black. Let me take a look. I think it's the black. Yep. So, you got your insert right there. And I'm after a brown pressing, so I will, when I see it, I'll take it. Is this one? No, it's not transparent. There you go. Original pressing. I think this was 1993, I want to say. What a sweet spot for lo-fi pop. Lo-fi indie bedroom pop. 1993, man. Oh, Guided by Voices was releasing some of their best work back then. That period between 92 or 91 even to 97 for the Guided by Voices was just untouched. And I think I did a couple good videos on my GBV collection. I still have quite a few more to show of that, which I need to get to, but I'm not going to show you any GBV here, but Portastatic. Oh, and I forgot to put looks like I left the inner sleeves out on the Giant Steps. We'll have to get to that. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Got a few more. Here's an original pressing of Eric's Trip. This is my favorite Eric's Trip album, and I think it's self-titled. This was 1996. I know that for a fact because Love Tara came out, I think, in 94. I have Love Tara, but I wasn't as impressed with Love Tara as I am with this. And I know a lot of Eric's Trip fans will say, "Are you crazy? Love Tara is their best." I don't know. I think this is their best. Let me show you the insert here. This one here has better lo-fi pop songs, in my opinion. Oh, this is called Forever Again. It's not self-titled. I'm sorry. Forever Again. Here it is. Great poster in here. It's double-sided, too. Really cool. These guys also, I think White splintered off with his wife at the time and did some side albums under Elevator to Hell, too, which I do have. but I'm not going to show today. But they did some good side stuff there. But yeah, Forever Again, this is definitely my favorite Eric Tripp's album, and I need to listen to this again sometime soon. I think this is it's transparent brown when you hold it up to light. But this is great. You know, if you're a Guided by Voices fan like I am, you're going to love this Eric Tripp album. You know, it's pretty much 4-track, some 8-track, mostly 4-track. Really good driving indie pop songs. Really good. So there it is, Forever Again, Eric Tripp. All right, 2 more. One of my, not my favorite, but one of my, my top 2 Grifters albums, or maybe top 3, we'll call it. One Sock Missing, 1993. Look at that label. Oh, so cool. The bug-eyed grinning man. The grinning head. Original pressing here. Let me show you the back cover because the artwork is just so cool on this. Love the Grifters. They're basically... So if Guided by Voices was influenced by the Beatles and the Who and the Kinks, the Grifters were basically Guided by Voices, lo-fi indie rock, 4-tracked, but they worship the Rolling Stones and like John Spencer Blues Explosion and that sort of stuff. So that's the difference between the Grifters and Guided by Voices. And what a great double bill they were when they toured together. Just amazing. I wish I could have saw that tour. Shangri-La Records. And here is... This is so gritty. So gritty. Really good lo-fi gritty cowpoke songs on this too. Fantastic. Love the side projects too that I think his name was House, the lead singer, did. Was it Eddie House maybe? I'm not sure. Was that the basketball player? But did some good side stuff as well that I do have. I'll show at some point. But One Sock Missing right there. That's where it's at. Crapping You Negative is the one after this, which is also amazing. So Happy Together was before this. Also amazing. Even their 7 inches are great. All right, last but not least, one of my favorite Scottish bands. Not my favorite, because I like the Pearl Fishers a little more. But for Scottish bands, these guys are right up there. This is Teenage Fanclub Bandwagon-esque. This is an original pressing on Creation. There's Creation again. And what's nice about this cover is it's got like a grit to it. It's so cool. It's so cool to the touch. It's hard to see it, but yeah, it's like a matte finish, but it feels like it's been painted. Really great original of this. Near mint condition. Love that. And sounds great. Let's see. This is so good. I'm getting rid of my repress of this. I think it's like a music on vinyl repress that doesn't even compare. The repress is, it's decent, but it sounds a little compressed, and I'm not saying this is all analog. It probably isn't. It's from the CD era here. But for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, this pressing sounds superior to me. So, yeah, if anyone's in the market for that music on vinyl, that MOV pressing of this, reach out. But there it is. So, Big Star fans, hello. These guys worshipped Big Star. Absolutely worshipped him. Number 1 record in Radio City. This has got that all over it. So you'll hear it in the melodies. You'll hear it in some of the vocals. You'll hear it in the chord changes. Just worship Big Star for sure. So you're a Big Star fan. You need everything done by Teenage Fanclub in the late 80s and 90s. For sure. All right, well, hey, that was my 1990s rarities video today. Please, if you like what you're seeing, hit subscribe, hit that bell, share the link. If you also have a show, I'd certainly love that. But Appreciate everyone watching as always. Crazy Jimmy out.